That keep the commandments, cause them have the right to the tree of life and can go through the gate into the city, cause without them a dog.
Thy kingdom come is told man, so obey the Mosaic, nigga, that's grave. Like the captivity when holy Moses stole the locust, scoliosis, get back crazy. Christ the living water, free to wave, will behave. I need a slave, Mr. Passways. He just laughed and said, nigga, it ain't over till then seen a higher choir full of fat ladies. Hamashiach birth was perfect, he don't act shady. Spirit dope from the womb like a crack baby. We Christ followers, let America meet the black Navy. And watch this privileged Christian cracker like black slaves. Israelites, bitch, we humongous. Wise Q and Q the cucumber. I prep twice, my mind two bunkers. Voice of choice to the newcomers. My Micah Myers, I need blue jumpers. 300 kosher soldiers, Leonidas. Awards ready, Gideon and Titus. No being nice, a knife to Dionysus. My law heathens, I quit being biased. The key to tree of life is being pious.
You loudmouth bitches barking at the dog whisperer. You will catch these paws in the name of the living word. I don't pump fake, I'm a pivot around this perimeter. They bite the jab step, whole time I'm checking your temperature. I can minister this literature in a verse into integers. All the babes in the truth weaned off the milk, get a quench of thirst. We are holy people, that's set apart like a room full of introverts. I guarantee you have never heard that up in your church. You see this woolly hair, plus my feet the color of brass. I'm just here to prophesy, my foot going up your ass. I'm smirk while others chuckle, I'm glad I can make you laugh. Come on and sign it there, bro, all I need is your autograph. I got a stick in my hand like I'm ready to play fetch. You brag about your hands, but there's nothing you can't catch. I'm a landlord, no dogs around this complex. Bitch stepping on shit, can't keep my feet off next.
Yeah man, tell them boy I say, yo, you know hear me chain? Yo, hold my glasses, let me talk to them boy, yo. You sitting at the kingdom, you know see my mansion right there, sir. You know see my car, yeah man, you know see it, you know? Yo, Christian Corey, now look on them now. Them outside of the gate and them can't come in. Where I eat everlasting fruit. No more pain, no more hunger. Just riches and wealth and good life and living. But because you know keep the commandments of the Most High, you're outside of the gate now and you can't come in here.
Deacon, only 12 tribes in the kingdom, the dogs are outside, weeping and gnashing the teeth. You hear the outcries, to get there you gotta be humble and denounce pride. They in awe when them chariots come. You see the mouth wide, shout out to the northern kingdom. But I'm from Southside, we outside doing the work. You on the couch fried, the greasiest. The flow was easiest, swatting house flies. The big shark that outgrew his tank, you niggas drought size. Edomites faking the truth, but they about lies. Niggas don't pop it, they gossiping like some housewives. They call it Sakari for a reason. We throwing out knives, y'all lukewarm newborns. I like devout guys, you think you confident in the spirit until the doubt rise. Family of the word, you won't hear it until the drought dies. I was in the streets like a Muslim, handing out pies. The big cat comes in the room and watch the mouse hide.
Hey, Deacon, use your inside voice. You ain't outside. Out lies the white man by the gate and he listening. Stop your voice of many waters, go switch to your pictures thin. You embarrassing our fathers, be proper when you sit with men. And cross your legs, straighten up your posture and lift your chin. Be master's pattern model when the Oscar shit bitch pretend. Man, why the hell I'm pushing Stockholm? Now that Abraham Stockholm, Jerusalem. I'm by Yahweh, fuck a goof too. Yahweh shy, pluck a tooth loose. He that lead of luck a noose sloop. Syro-Phoenician, fuck a deuce. Carbon fifth, chuck a few loose. Duck, yep, a goose loose. Brain splatter, call a couscous. Then danced on it, bust a deuce. Recruiting fruit, yep, a poop. Body of Christ, looking Bruce. Big dog, no call. Cop pull it until they click and load them. She no swift as eagles aboard the seat out her nigga scrotum. Put the stick in the V flying until they Jimmy Crow. Robbing Jews and Jews of Judas. Can't send the chicken on them, but with Christ, bird's eye view. Precision vision, show them fire bombing shit out the sky. Doubt them, we semicolon. I hawk them down, walk them down, convict the sentence on them. Then take them through it, make them do it, pigeonhole them. We did them foul, but fair. We read the holy prophets in context and we parroted verbatim. Esau's church that's out here wicked it. Culture vultures.
Christian. So here one now. On to them boy, man. They not even know if them serve God the right way. Live a righteous and positive life. There are bare things the most I have for them. Yo, a long time I watching Corey. A bare things you go on with the most I respect, you know. A man of intelligence and excellence, you know. One man who read the Bible and live it. And instead of just talk the talk, yeah, walk the walk, Corey.
The cipher.
Can't nobody move like us. 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 People. Can't nobody move like us. Can't nobody move like us. People. Can't nobody move like us. Can't nobody move like us. People. Can't nobody move like us. Can't nobody move like us. I know you heard what the pastor say. Better get the truth when you pass away. We can see the booths in the masquerade. Standing in the booth made of grass and hay. Strapping on the boots on the Saturday. Gathering the troops for the black and Asiatic indigenous people that was sacked by Spain. Now you know the language of your masters. Now you trying to buy up all your masters. Now they got your women while you master. Now you throwing kiddies in like Dasta. Now you love your chains and you lack escape. Never saw a day when the blacks were great because they clever saw a way they could master face. If not them, then the facts are racist. Look at my back, never back the bases, I'm gone. Can't nobody move like us. 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 People. Can't nobody move like us. Can't nobody move like us. People. Can't nobody move like us. Can't nobody move like us. People. Can't nobody move like us. Can't nobody move like us. People. Methamphetamines in your veins. Couldn't see the spirit, so you ran into the pain. Couldn't fly with spirit, so you landed in the plane. With a liquor in the pills and the way making you gain. Running from the father, but he calling your name. Run a little farther and you right back at the same. Nobody ever taught him that it's never gonna change. Till he turn back to the east, never go back to your ways. Used to feel like the bag could save me. Used to smoke trees and relax, but lately I really found peace when I passed the bacon. And I live by these things, so I passed the bacon. In the word, not Pastor Mason, not led by God. Most pastors Masons, most pastors faking. No pastor vacant, no classes to show those masters Nathan on God. Peculiar people, peculiar people. Peculiar people, peculiar people. Peculiar people, peculiar people. Peculiar people, peculiar people.
Can't nobody move like us. Can't nobody do it like us. They ain't really brewing like us. Who would've ever thought it'd be us? Cause they ain't been through it like us. They don't keep the law like us. They ain't outlaws like us. They ain't strong like us. On the block like us. Giving hope to the community. Kill the separation, we just focus on the unity. Every 7 standing on the corner with the KJV. We don't even need a bunch of brothers, give me 2 or 3. Give me 20 minutes and I'll teach you your identity. Keep an open mind and listen up and maybe you will see. Ooh, these are the nations, they want your salvation. They don't give a damn about what we've been through. They would not tell you the chosen is you. So come follow me, I'll teach you how to move.
Peculiar people, peculiar people. Peculiar people, peculiar people. Peculiar people, peculiar people. Peculiar people, peculiar people.
All praises to the Most High. Yeah. And I ain't letting know. Tell the devil it ain't enough. Yeah. I know what you going through, keep going. I'm sure if they had their way, I've been stopped. See, I can see him from a mile away. They in the cut, know how I play it. Been the fool, won't start the day. Then I'ma play my part. Much is given, much required. I won't let them treat me out my place. Never got a show. Where I'm from, how they play it hard. Don't know why I thought that it would change. When I came in, it's true. Once you peep the facial loans, then you cool. The way they play the game, flaw, I never do. Stay in your place, I'm like a paw to these little dudes. And we gon' get most out of praise, he brought me through it. My mind stay like anything we can do it. We putting work up on this faith and we improve. I try to tell them I ain't new to this. We did it, now they doing it. Just sticking to the manuscript. I think they follow the blueprint. Elohim sending me did not go. Tell my enemies to step it up. Tell the devil it ain't a no. Keep on going on and on and on and on and on. I'm fighting. I'm fighting. I ain't letting no. I'm gonna keep on going on and on and on. It ain't a no. And on. Tell the devil it ain't a no. I'm fighting, yeah. I'm fighting. Look at all that we done been through. We done overcame all that they pretend to. We don't fold, we don't bend. We knew we in due time, we would overcome. It's like a jungle sometimes. It made me wonder how I keep from going on. Experience, I don't worry. Most I say look up at the birds, think about it, call them bird brain, but somehow they maintain. If I do that for them, if for you, don't you think I'ma do the same thing or more? Gratitude, grateful. You said no one gotta support you, I separate. Get to walk together, let's stay agree. Be the hand, I be the knee. Don't matter to me, get on your job, no indeed. Don't wanna hear your sob story, no indeed. Teach you how to lead this life for peace. Take the choice, blessings the curses. You know we in the wheel, and you can't stand next to me if you pretend. Before the 12, we endure to the end. Go on and on and on. I'm fighting, yes sir. I'm fighting. This the most going on and on and on and on and on. I'm fighting.
Jonathan got bars, man. He got bars. But he always making slow music, man. Wanna pray to his music and meditate. He can't get hype, man. Sometimes I wanna get hype for the Lord. Come on, man.
Blood on the post. Blood on the blood on the post. Blood on the post. Blood on the post. Blood on the blood on the post. Blood on the post. Blood on the post. Blood on the blood on the post. Blood on the post. Blood on the post. Blood on the blood on the post. Blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, keeping them close. Man, we got fringes and seats on the clothes. Me and my brothers ain't sleeping, we reading the secrets. The deepest you've been is the ocean. Now we've been swimming in waters that's deeper than rivers to Jordan. We creeping up on them. It's the 14th of the month. Bone Thugs one day late for the show. Oh. Ain't never been out, ever since Red Pen Pals. You too late, you let them in now. We like veterans, niggas, that's power. These secrets only come through steady, no regrets. We walk through water like Jesus. We raising the dead, you see this. Look at this evening pose. Blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post. Blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post.
We hold in post, chopping up doctors, they ain't coming close. They had up 3 strikes like I'm Warner Franco. We're Rochelle toast, wisdom is better than silver and gold. This water is knocking down wicked Pharaoh. Can't swim through the sea, man, that fan was too slow. Pharaoh was sober-minded, think he can and go. Escape on a starry night, Victor Van Gogh. Living good unchained like Quincy Django. Sharpers down in the hood, now they wanna tango. Death angels coming close, so watch your back, bro. Watch your back, bro. We feeling that land, we gon' eat that. That bread, a bit of herb, we gon' eat that. Doing this till you how I come and see that. We that. Oh.
Blood on the post. Blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the blood on the post,
post, blood on the post, blood on the post, blood on the post. The Pesach and Nissan, we found faith in Misraim. We got to be strong. Walking through water, pray we don't sink. Strapped up, boots tight. Walking up right, boy, we don't lean. 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 Walking up right, we see that. Blood on the post. 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 Blood on the post.
Shalom, 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 everybody. Shalom. Welcome back to another Milk Mondays. Welcome back. We're so glad to have you back. This is after Passover, so I hope everyone had a wonderful time at the AHOS Passover. I'm so happy to see everybody here in the building, to our diligent congregation, and those who may be new. If you come in, please like, subscribe, and share. Please like, subscribe, and share. That's how we get this edification out to our people. I am Officer Knock. This is another Milk Mondays. I'm also here with, as always,
Captain Alya'al, the aristocrat. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom, Cap. How you doing? How you doing?
Straight. How you doing, bro?
I'm
good. I just got a phone call. I'm trying to tell the brother I'm teaching. Hold on. Okay, so
I believe I can speak for others. I'm enduring, right? As the scriptures say, constantly enduring. But tonight we have a special, as always. I think all of our classes are special, Milk Mondays, right? Because we're trying to give you the sense, right? We're trying to give you the understanding in a simplified way, giving you the milk, but also giving you history according to the scriptures, right? So tonight's class is called The Prophecy of the False Image of Christ. But as always, before we go ahead and turn it over to Captain Alya'al, I want to go ahead and give a few announcements concerning AHOS. We are a Hebrew Israelite Bible school, right? And we are looking for those who may want to put their brick in with the Anointed House of Saints, right? That means any brother who's out there wanting to put the work in, please let us know by email, right? Because we have prospect phases that are starting again. Please let us know by email at anointedhos@gmail.com. In the subject line, put prospect phase so we can get that information to you. Also, just to give reminders of certain events and holy days that are coming up. I forgot to pull this up. My bad, everybody. My bad. Let me pull it up real quick. Feast day calendar that we try to show to remind our congregation and those who want to start, coming back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? To keep these feast days, these holy days, right? So as you see, we just completed Passover, right? We also completed Feast of Unleavened Bread, right? So, we also have coming up the Day of Simon, right? We also have coming up the next moon, right? The next feast for the new moon. So we have to understand that we have to, well, at least AHOS, we try to keep you informed as what scriptures say, what holidays, what holy days that we are to keep. So we post this, at least I post it as much as I can to remind those, hey, take a screenshot of it or however you want to do it to remind yourself of these days because these are holy unto the Most High God. All praise to the Most High God. All right, so let me go ahead and bring that down. I don't have anything else to say. We got kind of started a little bit late, but I want to give shout outs, but I think I'll do that at the end of class because I think Captain want to get going. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Cap, whenever you are ready.
All right. Give me 2 seconds. All right. Yeah, I am. How y'all doing? I'm ready. What's up? I can see y'all now. I couldn't see you. I was looking at something. My bad. All right. Shalom, y'all. How y'all doing? Hope everybody's well. Hope y'all had a great Passover. Great Feast of Unleavened Bread. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Got all the leaven out your spirits, out your hearts, out your brains. You know what I'm saying? Out your bodies, out your households. So, that water tastes good. It was really hot in Georgia today, at least for me at my job. But yeah, shout out to y'all, man. I want to start by saying all praise to the Most High. The devil is dead.
God.
Yes, the Most High has put the light out of the Pope, right? For those of y'all that didn't know. So, ironically, right? So, yeah, right after their beloved Easter, they were happy and cheering one day, and at 1:30 in the morning, they're all crying. You know what I'm saying? So, I just thought that was a great way to start the class. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Most High. By Shema Mashiach Yahushua. If anybody confused as to why we would be Israelites, people that follow the Bible, and why we would be happy that the Pope is dead. For one, that Pope won the papacy pretending to be a man of Venezuelan descent. For those of you that don't know, right? He's actually an Edomite, but all of the Venezuelans and the Hispanics during the time that Pope Francis was elected, because I was around. I was aware of what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't in the truth yet, but I was around. You know what I'm saying? Very close to coming in. Let's see what year did Pope Francis come into the papacy.
What year was that?
I'm trying to find out.
No. That was right after Pope Benedict, right?
2013. Yeah. So right before I graduate high school. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is like my senior year, March 13th, 20. Well, okay. It's right before my senior year. So I'm a junior at this time, right? In high school. So, yeah, this the end of my junior year, right after I got into my car accident, ended my football career, right? So, or this is before spring practice happened. We're about to have spring practice March 13th. But anyway, so yeah, that's Pope Francis. So he comes into office, if you will, March 13th, 2013. He's pretending to be a man. My bad. I said Venezuela, Argentina, right? Of Argentinian descent, right? So he's posing as an Israelite, and he had the people over there because a lot of our Hispanic, and even if you're like a so-called black person from the islands, like a Haitian or Jamaican or Bahamian or something like that, right? You might be Catholic. My mom grew up Catholic, and I got a lot of family members that grew up Catholic and stuff like that, and are Catholic because of where they grew up or who they mom and daddy is. So, a lot of our people grew up like that, and especially with the Hispanics, he was able to draw a big following when it came to them choosing who they were going to elect for the papacy, right? And they labeled him the first Latin American Pope. Okay. For those of y'all, let me show you. Right. Bow. So Pope Francis becomes Pope 2060. Wow. He's the 266th Pope, March 13th, 2013, after the retirement of Pope Benedict, right? He was the first Latin American Pope. So they're calling him the first Latin American Pope. But when you really trace his lineage, because you have the ability to do that, right? We're not going to do that for this class because that's not what it's about. But you can trace his lineage, okay? And he's not a real, authentic Latin American. He was just given that title to make it seem like the Catholics and the popes were, allowing the minorities to get a shot at the, throne, if you will, right? They ain't gonna pick a black guy. Nah, ain't no more of that. But what they wanted you to believe was that they picked a Hispanic for the job. And that wasn't even the case. It later came out that he's not actually authentically Hispanic. He would have been a conquistador, if anything, right? So, but yeah, so he's not our people. For any of y'all that didn't know that, Pope Francis, he's an Edomite. And again, you could trace his history, you could trace his family back, and all that type of stuff. So, you can find his last name, his real last name. You know what I'm saying? His family history, all that type of stuff, because they have it online, and they've had it online since about 2016, 2017, whenever they started making things like that public.
His parents were Italian.
I was about to say that. I'm glad you went ahead and said it so that people know I'm not just saying stuff, because he said it before I got to say it. So you gotta know that it's common knowledge. His parents aren't even of Hispanic descent; they're of Italian descent, right? So yeah. He just was born in Argentina.
Con.
So he was able to call himself the first Latin American pope, right? He's actually an Edomite, which is why I'm happy the Most High killed him. Because, right after Easter, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And during their holiday, pop the air right out their balloon. And yeah, he was posing as one of our people, right? Which is how he won the papacy in the first place. Because once again, his whole reign was supposed to signify the Catholic Church and the cardinals and the deciding factors, the powers that be. They're not racist, right? Child molesters. They will pick a minority and put him in office. Yeah, nah, that ain't what happened. He's not actually Hispanic. He's actually Hispanic.
Right.
Fuck that.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So that's it on Pope Francis, right? The witch is dead. That's all I wanted to say. So, but now let's get into the other witch, right?
Right.
Mitch.
North to the
Mitch with the good hair.
Right.
So, Cesare Borgia, right? A lot of our people don't like to listen to Israelites teach, mainly because they think we don't believe in Jesus. And the reason they think we don't believe in Jesus typically is because of that beautiful sign we usually have on the sidelines, right, of our camp spots, where we have, hey, shalom, sis. Shalom to everybody in the building. Shalom to y'all, man. But so like we're in a time where if you put a sign up, right? Put a 7 in the chat first of all if you've seen the sign that we have at our camp spot of Cesare Borgia, who the world ignorantly thinks is Jesus Christ, right? Put a 7 in the chat if you've ever seen it. It's got the devil horns on it. It's got like Revelations 1, Daniel 10, I think it got Isaiah 10 maybe. I don't know. It got a couple scriptures on it, right? Got him with the devil horns. Tells you that Jesus is black in the Bible, not white. Jesucristo es negro, no blanco. And then they always don't read the sign. They just see the picture. And then they, when they keep walking or they stop and go. So I have a question. You guys are preaching the Bible like this little Hispanic girl did to us on Saturday. Aharon can attest to this, and any of the brothers that was at camp can attest to it. Little Hispanic girl with some glasses on. She about 4'11", right? And we talking to this African dude, right? That was talking to Aharon at first. And he got an afro, whatever, strong African accent, and he want all the people to be saved, right? He think Gentile is actually like a heathen. So we actually show him in the Bible that a Gentile is not a heathen, and the brother had the nerve to go, nah, no. I said, what you mean? That's what it say. You don't want to just pull up what it say and show you? He's like, nah. So him and Aharon had their conversation on the side, right? And Aharon's trying to talk to him the rest of the time and stuff. But the girl that was messing with his dog, she stays and she asks us the question. She's like, yo, so y'all don't believe in Jesus? And we're like, yeah, we do. Why would you think that? Well, y'all are teaching the Bible, but you have this sign up over there. And I'm like, did you read the sign? She goes, no. So that's my first question. Now, could you tell me that, please? Why we got words on the sign if people are not going to read it? We should just take the words off and just put the sign up there and make people think what they want to think. Because the words are there for read. People don't read the words.
Well, that's what it is. They don't see the words. They see Jesus. That's all they see.
Crazy how their eyes could do that, though, right? They never see the words. They never read what it say. They just see the white boy with the horns on his head, and they think we don't believe in Jesus at that point.
That's right.
What's up, babe? But yeah, man. Shalom says B. Casa de Shemai. But yeah, bro. Like, what's good? my God. Let me show y'all this, right? Y'all probably seen this picture before. When we was with the old school, I used this as my thumbnail when I did this class the very first time, right? So that might be where y'all seen it before if y'all seen it. But here's a picture that a brother drew for me when I was in college. And I think somebody even used it on the thumbnail before with IUIC, but that's neither here nor there. So 10/16/2015. See? So like what our people got to understand is we put up the picture of this guy, right? With the devil horns. Because devil in the Bible, or devil period, is a Latin word. It means diablo, deceiver, right? That's what the Latin version of it is, diablo. When you bring it into English, it becomes devil. A devil or diablo is just a deceiver. That's what it means. It doesn't mean red man with horns on his head. That's the image that they've put to make you see the deceiver and put a, figure to the name, if you will, right? But y'all don't look at it that way because you were never taught the word and what it means. You were just given the picture. You feel what I'm saying? Just like with Jesus. You don't know what he means for real. You just were given a picture. You don't know what he looks like for real. You don't know what he's supposed to do because y'all think he's supposed to save everybody. He never said that. The Bible don't say that. So y'all don't even know anything about Jesus. Y'all just know about a picture, right? So I wanted to do this class because it seems every single Saturday, no matter what, we have people that don't seem to understand that the image that y'all were given of the man you call Jesus is not actually the man you call Jesus. And I realized that we have a Bible, passage, if you will, because there's more than one verse. There's a passage that talks about this prophetically. It's written according to the scholars, right? Whether they're ones that believe this came from Solomon or they're ones that believe it came from some Deuteronomical character that's, Israelite of Helene, mindset. Whichever one you think it is. The person that wrote the Wisdom of Solomon, which I'll show you both of those examples of records and stuff like that. But the person that wrote the Wisdom of Solomon, whether Solomon or otherwise, actually made that prophecy before any of these pictures of so-called Jesus were made. Right? So, and we'll show you that in a second too. So this is actually a prophecy that is given. It's not just something that was written and put in a Deuteronomical book called the Apocrypha to make you believe that the image of good old white Jesus is fake. No, it's actually a prophecy, right? Which is why the rabbinical sources say that it comes from, King Solomon himself, because it's an actual prophecy. It actually happened, right? They'll be honest with you and tell you Jesus don't look like that. In fact, damn near everybody on the planet nowadays will tell you Jesus don't look like that. We know he wasn't white. That's what they'll say, right? They won't tell you what they know he was, but they'll tell you what they know he wasn't, right? So, and usually when you press them on what he was, they'll say brown. And brown could be anybody but white. So that doesn't really give an answer, right? So we wanted to do this class today to give you guys an answer biblically, right? But to also give you guys an answer as to how this image on this side is actually a lie. And it's not just something we say, because a lot of people like to say, Jesus came to save everybody. He's God. He could look like anyone. Well, why don't y'all ever make him look like a Chinese person and put it out there in the public? It's always either a black guy or a white guy, right? Why is he never East Indian? I ain't never seen an East Indian. Hey, my name is Jesus. I've never seen it.
Right.
Ever. Okay. So, yeah. I just think it's crazy that our people find it so difficult to believe that we could still believe in Jesus and put the horns on the white boy because he's a fake image. A lot of y'all believe he's a fake image, but when you see the picture we have on the side of the street, you think we're some devils ourselves or something. Like we these demons with the Bible in our hands, standing there for free, not asking you to collect or pass the collection plate or put money in the bowl, right? We ain't playing no drums. We ain't selling nothing. We ain't playing the guitar or the trumpet or the flute, giving no tattoos, painting nothing on the walls. None of the crap you see down there at Little 5 Points or 5 Points or the Beltline. We ain't doing it. We're just teaching the Bible for free.
God.
Right? But when y'all see the picture of this cracker right here, y'all get mad.
Wow.
Oh, y'all don't think everybody can be saved and well, what does this picture have to do with anybody being saved, first of all? Tell me that. Is this because you think if Jesus actually is black that he won't give a damn about y'all? That's a real question I have for people not black, Hispanic, and Native American. I just can never get y'all to answer it. So if one of y'all see this, could you please put that in the comment, right? Is the reason y'all are so afraid of Jesus actually being black because you believe in your heart if he is a black man, everything we say about him is true? Is that what it is? And that if he's a white man, what still makes you think everything we say about him isn't true? White people don't really like anybody other than white people for real. So if he's white, what the hell make you think if you not white that he give a damn about you?
Right.
It don't make no sense. Psychologically, right? For you black, Hispanic, Native Americans, that's not the truth. If this cracker right here ain't like the rest of the crackers out there, right? How the hell? It don't make no sense. And then when you read the narrative in the Bible, ain't no way that man could even be a white guy. They don't act like that. They don't embody the spirit of the man you call Jesus. They can't. Which is why even white people have no problem telling you to your face, oh, we know he wasn't white. Yeah, we know. He was Middle Eastern. Well, what the hell is that? Hello? What's a Middle Eastern person? During antiquity, did they look like me or did they look like, I don't know?
I never understood. It's like a captain.
Yeah, go ahead.
I never understood Middle Eastern. I mean, black folks need to understand that black is just a color, right? It doesn't go back to a location. But then when they create the Middle Eastern, all of a sudden that becomes a nationality when all that really is just a location. We got to wake up, y'all. We got to wake up because that's wild to me. But I yield.
It's wild to me too. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Our people have a habit of not looking things up, not researching things, right? 90% of the time, maybe more, when I ask somebody on the street on a Saturday or if I'm just walking around or whatever on any day of the week, if we end up having a biblical conversation, I ask, hey, you ever seen what color Jesus is in the Bible or what he looked like in the Bible? No. If they want to be smart, they go, I ain't never seen him. Like, how I'm supposed to believe what the book said? Why wouldn't you? If an account from your family member in a memoir on your family wrote to you what your great-great-grandfather looked like and you ain't never seen your great-great-grandfather, are you just going to say, why should I believe that?
Right.
Or are you going to believe it? You see how when we make it about you, you think it makes sense to believe what they say? Well, when you find out that the Bible is a book written by your ancestors, don't it make sense to believe that, you should believe what the Bible say? It just, like, to me, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got this black guy, right? Hamashaki Habashai. Then you got this white guy, Cesare Borgia. And that's what we're going to go into today, right? So scripturally, before we get into that, let's do a little bit of history. I want to show y'all something that I've never shown before in a class, and I'm kind of ashamed of it. But I'll tell you why. Actually, no, I won't, because we offer that now. So the reason, just know, I never showed this before. This is the first time y'all getting to see it, right? That's it. Okay. I've shown bits and pieces of it, but I've never shown the entire thing. So, Judah's seen it before because Judah's read this part for me before on the Milk Monday, if he's watching it. But other than Judah and the people that saw that one class, this has never been shown before on any YouTube. So, this is from a book called The Renaissance and the Revealing of the Beast. I can't find the book no more. But luckily, I took this picture back when I was in college. And Lord have mercy. The stuff that this is what made me go into the deep dive after Matthew Quest, my African American studies teacher, said what he said in that one class, made me Google what I Googled, that made me find out about the truth, right? When I found out about this and Jesus ain't white, that's when I was like, okay, they've been lying about stuff. It was one thing like, okay, black people is Israelites. Like, all right, that kind of got to be the case because, everybody over there at that time was black. You know what I'm saying? But when you find out about this, it's like, okay, now they done effed up. All right, now what else y'all done lied about? What the hell going on? You know what I'm saying? So this is what sent me into the deep dive. And me being a guy that already liked history, learning about this dude right here changed my life. This is Septimius Severus, right? This is a sculpture of him, okay? And he looked a little bit blacker than this, but, this is one from Roman time. They left the blackness on him. This actually doesn't have a nose on it anymore when you look at the actual sculpture. It's noseless. And, yeah. But reading it, right? Septimius Severus, ruler of Rome, according to prophecy, circa 193, which is really 192, but 193 is cool too, right? The Most High destroyed the pagan Roman Empire by using an Israelite man by the name of Septimius Severus. Okay? So I'm like, what the hell is an Israelite man? And then bam! Oh, okay. And then it's like, if I would have found this within like the last year or two, you have that movie that they just came out with, that Gladiator movie with Denzel Washington, who's playing a distant relative of this man right here, Marcranus Severus. They even got the same last name. How about that? So, like Mark and Sept, they the same family. They both rulers in Rome, and they both niggas. Right? So it's like, but this dude here, he's special. Because for those of y'all that don't know, he the one that like took the throne. So like you got Alexander the Greek freak, then the Maccabees take over after all his people lose the throne and stuff like that. And then John Hyrcanus, which is another like version of the Maccabees, you know what I'm saying? And then he lose the throne. And then Septimius Severus hop on there, right? You get Hamashiach and Habashah in between that time, and then Septimius Severus jump on there, right? Spartacus, all them brothers, they around this time. Persinius Niger, sorry for the
it's nigger.
I know, but for
that's what it is.
For the what you call it, for the algorithm and stuff. So Persinius Niger. But yeah, these guys, right? They're all historical people you could look up. Spartacus, they did the movie on him and stuff like that. They put a couple black people in there, but they didn't tell you Spartacus himself was black. He was a brother. Everybody with him was black, right? From the trainer to the Gauls, right? So those were all gladiators, right? And stuff like that. This brother also was a gladiator in the Roman army, right? He moved up to the Roman army like Spartacus did with the gladiator shit. Well, Spartacus was different. He formed his own Roman army when he broke from the gladiator shit. Killed his, boss and master and all that type of stuff. Had the whole, revolt with the slaves and stuff. And then they run out there and they start their own army and start killing people and stuff. So that was one thing. And then there was this guy who did it on a larger scale, but actually had reins and control of the army. So since it was brothers like Cornelius, who we've taught you about, right? Who was not a white person or a Roman, but an Israelite, right? Fighting for the Italian band, okay? He was somebody who would have been, if alive at the time, right? He wasn't, but if alive at the time, would have been in the ranks under Septimius Severus, right? So him being a centurion, he would have been somebody that ruled over a certain group of men that were all ruled by Septimius Severus. You feel me? That's how the ranking structure was and how high he had got up in the army. And he found a way to get his guys to turn on their masters. You feel me? And the guys that were in the Roman court, all the Edomites, basically. he had the whole army turn on him, and that's how the revolt started. So that's the story of Septimius Severus. And this book right here is actually a book you could get with his face on the cover of it. You can read it for yourself. Get the history of the brother. So I advise y'all to do that. But this picture right here is more than just a little picture, right? It's got some history attached to it. So now, mind you, when I took these pictures, I just came into the truth. So I don't even know if these precepts are right because I ain't ready yet. So we're going to read it for the first time now. All right. With Revelation 13 and 3. And I saw, oh, wow. This brother tried to make Septimius Severus Hamashiach Yahushua. Okay, so ignore this part real quick. Okay? That's why. I never knew that. See, I'm just pulling this back out. But it says in 192 AD, Commodus was assassinated. It's telling you the story. This is actual historical, right? Or actually historical. This is real. This part right here. So in 192 AD, Commodus was assassinated and Pitanax succeeded him. The Praetorian Guard later killed Petroniac. So this is a different type of guard, the Praetorian Guard. They're like the Italian band, right? There's different names or nicknames for the different guards. Like you got the Navy and the Army, and there's nicknames for different sects of the Navy SEALs and stuff like that, right? Like each group got their own nickname, Fire Squad, Light Balls, all type of, big draws. Like they they got stupid little nicknames. So it's the same thing with this back in the day, right? No new thing under the sun. That's actually where Esau stole it from. So then the guard offered the emperorship to Didius Julianus. This greatly angered Severus or Septimius because, and if I'm not mistaken, Didius is also a brother. So they offered to Didius. I wonder if that, never mind. No. And many others who supported him. Out of his anger and with support from his army, as I said, he accepted his soldiers' solution and began to march toward Rome, meaning he got his soldiers' approval. You know what I'm saying? He got them all on his side, and they all marched towards Rome. For what you think? He overcame all opposition, and in 193 AD seized control of Rome. All right? So, yeah. Septimius Severus. And this dude that wrote this book tried to make Revelation 13 and 3 about him. It says, and I saw in his head as it were wounded to death. You know what I'm saying? I guess you could say that he fit the prophecy, but yeah, I'd have to look more into that because I don't remember how he died. So, yeah. But anyway, it says he died in 211 AD. Right. Here we have the man in question who we're here to talk about today. So, you got Cesare Borgia, right? And there's a movie you guys could watch that we tell you guys about all the time. It's called The Borgias. Yep. Did I pull that up? No, I didn't. Let me see if I could pull this up for y'all.
Want me to grab it, or you can keep talking?
I got it.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, go ahead and grab it. Fuck.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and do that for me. I'll take this off real quick. Keep it there, though, so I can read that for them. So, look, Cesare Borgia is a brother, not a brother, but a man, I'll say, right? A man that had a brother who he killed named Giovanni. A man that had a sister named Lucrezia that he frequently had sex with and even got pregnant, right? She was forced to make her husband believe that it was his child, but in fact it wasn't. And if I'm not mistaken, Cesare, who you guys think is Jesus Christ, also killed his sister's husband, his brother-in-law, right? So that he wouldn't raise his kid. Yeah. So this is the man who was murdered, right? And the guy right there standing up is playing the father, right? The first crime boss, Rodrigo Borgia, the father, right? Alexander VI, the Pope, right? Another devil who died. Praise the Lord. And the woman in the middle is his sister, the one that he has for sex with frequently, Lucrezia, right? Those are the Borgias. So Giovanni's not in the picture because he got killed and thrown in the lake. So yeah, if I'm not mistaken, when Cesare was murdered, he was cornered by a band of thieves in the woods. They chased him on horseback and killed him, stripped him naked, and left him there for his family to find him. His father was still Pope, and you know, already had a renaissance happening. There was already a renaissance in the midst with Leonardo da Vinci and one Michelangelo, right? Some stories conflict as to which one was his boyfriend. There you go. That's a better version of it, right? In the movie, if I'm not mistaken, they had him with I don't want to say wrong. There's one movie where he's with Michelangelo, and there's one movie where he's with Leonardo da Vinci, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most historical accounts tell you that Leonardo was his boyfriend, but the Da Vinci Code makes it seem like it was Michelangelo. So you'd have to, you know. But seemed like they was both Fruity Loops, right? Both some gay artists, and
Yep.
within the Renaissance period, they both probably slept with him. That might be why there's two different records. I don't know. I ain't looking into it that far because I don't give a damn. The point is, there's two artists who repainted this man, right? They started it while he was alive. That's how they got the images of him. They didn't just paint pictures of him while he was dead. They started it while he was alive. They were getting actual images of him, which is why we call this image an actual idol, which is why the prophecy that we're going to read calls it an actual idol, because it's an actual picture made to look like the man that you see here. Not that actual guy because he's an actor, but you know what I mean, right? So, and he's hugging his sister Lucrezia like that because it's supposed to signify to you their relationship, right? How they got down. That actually was Giovanni. I say was because he got killed once again.
God.
Right? Giovanni was the leader of the army. His dad wanted Cesare to be a pope. Cesare started the papacy, but then found out the popes can't have sex. And then he said, hell no. And then realized his brother's getting all the wham bam, thank you, man. So he killed his brother. And then convinced his pops, hey, the people love me. I need to be the ruler of the army. So that's what happened. So he could wham bam, thank you, ma'am, to his sister. So that's the only reason his big brother had to die. Because he couldn't stop clapping little sister's cheeks. And y'all got this dude on your walls praying to him. You close your eyes at night and you see him when you put your hands together and say, "Lau, I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep." Right? And then the horror movie music plays. And Jason and Freddy Krueger start fighting in the background in your head. Like, it's crazy, right? So this is the guy that they gave you to, be your God, be your ruler. So appreciate you, Knock.
God.
So look, let's read a little bit about this homosexual deviant. Hold on. All right, let me zoom in. For the blind ones in the back. Now, he's born September 13th. I know it don't say it here, but I looked it up because it didn't say it. And unfortunately, me and him have the same birthday. So it's ingrained in my brain forever. I'll never forget it.
Sorry about that.
He was born the same day as me, and it's the same day Tupac died. So it's the greatest day and the worst day on the planet ever. Right? It just is what it is. So, yeah. This Cesare Borgia, right? September 13, 1475, and he died March 12, 1507, right? He was the Duke of Valentinois and the illegitimate son of Pope Alexander. I forgot to mention that. He ain't even the real son of the Pope. I mean, he is, but not the, you know what I'm saying? His mama ain't the mama he was supposed to have, right? Rodrigo was sleeping around, doing his thing, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and boop, had a baby with another lady. His wife ain't never liked Cesare, to the point where in the movie you could even see they got her kicked out the crib, right? She wasn't allowed to stay there no more. She had to go live in a distant land in Italy somewhere, right? A distant castle out far, there yonder. So that's what it was, right? But that's who this guy is. He was the older brother of Lucrezia Borgia, right? Uh-huh. And his mother is Venosa de Catini. I forgot to say her name. My bad. So Cesare was born to the mistress of Rodrigo, right? The lady we just said. He's the nephew of Pope Catalyst the Third, or Calixtus. Borgia planned to use the forces of the papacy to further his own family, right? Which is why they call him the first, or them, the first crime family, because they literally stole the papacy for one. If you know anything about the history, it was literally stolen, like the votes. It was like the first account of literal voter fraud. For real, right? And he won the papacy. They killed niggas and everything. So, yeah, he did his crime mob thing for real. Verinoci, yeah, Vivici, yeah, all that stuff. Bertoli, Ravioli, yeah. So, Cesare, born to the mistress, right? So Borgia planned to use the papacy to further his own family. After years of scheming, Rodrigo, which is his father, had himself elected pope in 1492. What is that significant of? Y'all remember? Anybody good at history? Anybody just remember dates real well that they tell you guys about? Put it in the chat, somebody, if you know what 1492 was significant of. Oh, well, shout it. See, look at that. I ain't even see the comment. See, best and worst day on the planet. Look at that. Shout out to y'all. Nobody know what 1492 was supposed to do? Not on mute. He telling y'all the answer, but.
I was on mute, so y'all got lucky on that. I was I was trying to give y'all some help. I can be a lifeline. Come on, congregation, saints.
The ocean blue.
The ocean blue.
What that mean?
Right.
Frank Ocean from 1492?
There you go. Who we got? We got
Columbus. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Christopher Columbus. Yes, this guy. So, why was this important? Well, Isabella, the queen of, Portugal and Spain, she's asking Columbus and Luis de Torres, our brother, to go over there to the Americas and do what you do, right? And Cesare, his father, also gave permission for the Crusades to happen because he gets elected at the same time. And he's somebody who's working hand in hand with Isabella, right? They work together. Yeah. So all of this happens in the same year. Big old, Psalms 83. Big old conspiracy, right? That's what's going on. Esau has been doing this for a long time, y'all. I didn't just start with like Democrats and Republicans. This is like they with the New World Order for real. You know what I'm saying? They about that life. They've been about it for a long time. So this is just some historical accounts, right? According to the prophecy, which I don't know what prophecy he's talking about yet. Again, I'm reading this for the first time with real understanding because I ain't read this since I came into the truth. So we're relearning it together. It says, according to the prophecy / circa 1453, the beast / Roman Empire was healed from its deadly wound. Okay, he's talking about the real prophecy. All right, so inflicted by Septimius Severus. Through the power and prophecy of the Lord, the beast regained strength and gained control of Rome so that it may deceive the world. Revelations 12:9. All right. And yeah, that's facts. So this rebirth of the beast was called the Renaissance period. And Renaissance is Italian for rebirth. That's what it means. So when they taught you guys about the Renaissance in school, they taught you guys about Shakespeare and poetry and people, falling in love with each other and stuff. But it was really about the rebirth of Christ, right? As a white guy. The rebirth of the doctrine that was going to come with Christ as a white guy, right? All of this is happening in 1492. Okay. So 1453 is when they really start to get into the things, but 1492 is when everything is, begins to be accomplished. With Rodrigo being in power, Isabella sending Columbus out there, and then finding the Israelites, right? Like that's when everything popped off. So, according to this part, anyway. Hold on. Let me get back a bit. Oh, why it didn't pop up? There we go. Sorry about that. I'm trying to scroll down. All right. So, yeah. Oh. So, this is a book y'all could get. It explains a little bit of this history too. That's just the fall of Constantinople. That's another book, right? More books. Books on books on books, right? Got books on books on books. Yeah. So, y'all can read the books. Y'all should read the books. These are books that are good for you guys to read for your historical knowledge, especially knowing that we had something to do and we're heavily in these places, right? During the Roman period and the Greek period, as we were the Hellenized people during this time. So, the people that were in captivity. So, like, it would be good to know what these people were doing to you, what type of things your people were doing, because all of those accounts are in every single one of these books. And even when it comes to certain things, as far as like when it comes to Constantinople, by that time we're in power, right? So like a lot of these people, you think like the Medici family and everything, you watch movies on them big old banking families that's real rich, you think they was crackers, but they're actually niggas. They're your people. They're Black, Hispanic, Native American folks, right? 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Could be any tribe too, because they had bread. They was able to move around. You don't know where they from. So like they just popped up one year and start taking over the banks. Right? Who these Medicis? Like, what's this? Medici, whatever you, however you say. But yeah, they was brothers too. You know what I'm saying? Shakespeare was Black, Mozart Black. All the people that's dirt. Oh, Othello. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it don't matter what you bring up, right? Our people during this time period were the ones in power. So these books that you see on the screen or saw on the screen, they would be, beneficial for you to get, in my opinion. So they help. That's all I'm saying. All right. Oh, is there anything here? Can y'all even read this? This is so bad. Sorry, guys. This is a picture from like a 2015 phone. So, yeah. Salakia. I think it says a stranger. I ain't even gonna try to read this, bro. But it's basically giving you the history of the Borgias, right? Y'all could read this. It says from Wikipedia. So he just went and took the Wikipedia thing where it says the first crime family, and y'all could go read that. All right. But what I really wanted to show you about this before we get into the scriptures. You see this, right? Lucrezia. This is Cesare Borgia, the illegitimate son of Rodrigo Borgia, Pope Alexander VI of Rome, is set up his son Cesare Borgia to replace the face of the true Jesus Christ. The Borgias are known as history's first crime family. The devil had sex with his sister Lucrezia, and then they got the picture of Lucrezia right there with the beard and stuff, because she was like, yeah. And then that's him, right? That's one of the first pictures painted of him by, I believe this one was done by Michelangelo. So, yep. And then they have him in the apotheosis, where, he's Jesus. This is him as the captain of the army. Then they have him as Jesus, right? Which is where his hair gets a little bit more blonde. His eyes get a little bit more blue. His beard gets a little bit more chin strap. You know what I'm saying? And his fingers is always in a plus sign, touching. Like this. There it is. Wow, I forgot that was even on there. Look at that. So this would be a Renaissance picture of the man you just saw, right? And his beard is a lot less chin strap here, but this the only picture, to be fair, I've ever seen Jesus have a full beard. I ain't gonna lie. Not if you've seen another one, let me know. But I ain't never seen one other than this one. You know. Then he got some scriptures, right? Got the Job 9:24. The earth has been given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right? That's right. That's right. Yeah. Revelation 1:13-15. Right? He got that.
They got that under that image.
Yeah, they do.
Well, that's a true statement.
It's right there.
Damn. They know not what they do.
Crazy, right? Crazy stuff. I'm telling you, I can't find this book no more. And I don't even remember where I saw this.
That's
I just
crazy.
know it's in my phone and it's on my computer. And I saved it. And I was teaching it on Snapchat at one time.
I mean, they're basically telling on themselves right there. That very first verse, Job, that's wild.
This was my go-to when I was a keyboard elite. No lie.
God.
This whole little slide that I'm showing y'all. So it's one picture that I got, but I like cut it up into pieces and I screenshotted it so y'all could see the pieces. You know what I'm saying?
God.
So like, yeah, they got the little scriptures.
Revelation 1:14 cuts that image. Well, that was another scripture I seen on there.
Watch this one.
Right in front of us.
This is the cut right here. La Renaissance.
There we go.
The term Renaissance, adopted from the French. Yeah, that's why I said it like that. Y'all ain't know it was French. I thought it was Italian, huh? I'm a bourbon, baby. Yeah. No, I'm playing. All right, so look. The French equivalent of the Italian word renaissatia, right? Renaissatia. So meaning literally rebirth.
That's right.
So the Italian word is renaissatia, right? The French word is renaissance. So rebirth. That's what it means.
God.
And who were the rebirthers? Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. That's it.
Interesting.
Right? What is this? Rebirth. Describes the radical and comprehensive changes that took place. Wow, typo like a mother trucker. You needed a space here, money. Anyway, place in European culture during the 15th and 16th centuries, bringing about the demise of the Middle Ages and embodying for the first time the values of the modern world, which is what we believe in that.
Okay.
In 1472, Leonardo da Vinci became a member of the Painters Guild of Florence, Italy, that is.
That's right.
Where he had contact with other great Florentine artists, including Michelangelo Boratori.
Yeah, and Raphael and
Raphael and I forget the other dude name.
It's the turtles, right? Donatello. Yep.
Yeah, all of them was painters. In case y'all didn't know. Yeah, that's why they made the. It's like painting is like kung fu. They tell you it's all in the flick of the wrist, right?
Yep.
I ain't gonna say that. I was gonna say something that we say in the hood, but I ain't gonna say it. So yeah, but kung fu is like that, right? And the Renaissance painting was the same way. So they made the Ninja Turtles, right? Kung fu masters that are named after painters from Italy. Yeah. So Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, right? And they're all part of the Painters Guild of Florence. Obviously, Donatello and Raphael were the two, worst of the painters, right? Might have been the two most what's the word?
They just weren't as skilled.
Like less skilled, but more moral.
Yeah.
I'll say. Yeah. Because I also don't hear any history about either one of them being gay, right? But there is speculation on both of these niggas. So whether it's the tutors that they loving on or the other guys, right? So because rumor has it, whichever one wasn't sleeping with homeboy Cesare was sleeping with the dude from the Tudors. So yeah, just saying, it's a lot of going around. But yeah, so Middle Ages, and when you watch the Tudors, it actually shows that too. You know what I'm saying? But Charles sleeping with one of these niggas. He sleeps with Michelangelo. But yeah, so bringing about the demise of the Middle Ages and embodying for the first time the values of the modern world in 1472, they're all meeting for the Writers Guild. Homeboy dies in 1507. They start making these pictures in the 1490s. So they've had at least 20, 30 years to become skilled painters. They all known, right? They had the little competition called the Renaissance, which is them making the rebirth of Christ. And they made a series of paintings in which the ones that were chosen, I believe, let me see if Google's going to tell me. Hold on. Because this is, I've never looked this up before on AI. Who is this? Shoot. Okay, Leonardo da Vinci. Ain't that some stuff? They attribute it to him making the Mona Lisa, but it's also got the Last Supper in there too, which lets me believe that had something to do with how good he made him. The fake Hamashiach look.
Hey, Salaki, Captain, that you brought that up, the Lord's Supper, right? Challenge anyone to actually look at that painting and tell me what they see in that painting. I would challenge anyone to look up.
Who won the Renaissance? Leonardo da Vinci.
That's right.
That's crazy.
If you were to look up that and actually look at that image of the Last Supper, you'll find out that there's not 12 disciples there. That's the Borgia family right there.
Mm-hmm. That's Lucrezia. Let me see. This is probably the advisor. That might be the Pope. This is his best friend. That might be his brother dressed up like a bia, because he ain't ever like him. That's his brother's girl, right? That's the guys fighting over the. These are probably dudes that didn't like him too in the picture. Because there were guys in his family that didn't want him to have the papacy and stuff like that. People that were close to him, that were like related to him, who were supposed to get the papacy, that he stole the papacy from. One guy was really close to his pops, that his pops killed in order to get the papacy, but the other guy actually won, and they had them recount the votes and all type of crazy stuff. So these also might be images of those guys that his father did dirty in order to put him up there, which is why they're all pointing at him like this, right?
Well, there's images of women in that picture also.
Well, that's why I said this is Lucrezia, and this is his brother's wife. That's his brother, I believe. One of these has to be his brother or his best friend, and his best friend. I believe the best friend would be him, and this would be his brother because of how he's dressed. If you know the relationship, you would know why I say his brother's dressed up like a.
Con, absolutely. But that's wild. And there's some of these pictures in some of y'all houses, or at least used to be in some of y'all houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of our family houses, we got this picture.
And they'll never tell you this on the History Channel because they want you to believe this is actually supposed to be a depiction of Jesus, not Cesare Borgia.
God.
Sometimes when you Google, is the picture of Jesus Cesare Borgia, they'll tell you to speculation it is, and they won't be honest with you. But all the historical accounts tell you during the Renaissance, Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo are painting a picture of, hello. This AI thing even told you that Leonardo won based off one of his pictures of the Last Supper, which is a picture of Jesus.
Yeah. and all of this is all Roman, even down to the attire.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, we were all.
Yeah, I get it. But I get it.
Yeah. Niggas was wearing togas with fringes on it. Mm-hmm. Technically, that's probably what Hamashiach Yahushua had on when he was in Greece. You know what I'm saying? When they walk around Judea and stuff like that, he probably had a toga with fringes on. That's what brothers was wearing back then. A toga is a garment down to the foot.
Yeah,
it is.
You just got to put the fringes on it, right? Doesn't matter.
Put the fringes on, and it's
That's right.
easy for a woman to grab too. It's hard for you to grab my garment and me not kick you in your face. It's attached to me, kind of. But if I got a toga on and it got fringes, I got the thing that go over my shoulder. She grabbed the hem of my garment. It ain't gonna make me fall or nothing. It's like she just tugged a rug or something. I'm like, bitch, get up. You know what I'm saying? So that always to me made more sense. But you know, niggas will get offended if I start teaching that. But all right, look. So y'all have seen. Just made my laptop wet. Hold on a second. All right, y'all have seen. Damn. Still wet. But y'all have seen the evidence of the fake Christ, right? Let's show you guys the prophecy biblically. Let me get that real quick. Sirach chapter 14.
God. It's the book of Sirach.
Historicity for you guys, right? So that y'all have something to put in your back pockets to show people. And that Renaissance picture, I'm glad you brought that up, not because I didn't even think to show that. But yeah, it is historical accounts that you can find for people that do actually know about this being Caesarea Borgia. That this isn't actually the 12 disciples. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's a picture depicting the feeling of him being the image of Jesus Christ, for one, because there wasn't people that actually agreed with this during that time. It became a thing afterwards, right? So while this is happening, people don't like his family. You know what I'm saying? They weren't alike. Like the papacy wasn't a thing that people were fond of while his dad was running things. Does that make sense? They didn't like this pope. It was like how Democrats feel right now with Donald Trump. But all of Italy felt like that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah. And he stole the vote. Like, he literally stole votes, killed people that won, and had to do them, had to recount and re-vote. And then they voting for another person that they don't like and all this type of stuff. Like, it's all type of crap that's going on. That's how he literally stole it. So, they know that. The citizens know this, you know, just like in America. Things happen and rumor gets, you know, carrying around and stuff like that. So folks find out stuff. Same thing was going on here. So folks would, you know, hear the stories about how his pop stole things, and now they're hearing stories about his dad trying to make him Jesus. Right? You got to remember, this is Italy, so they Catholic. They're, you know, what you would think is a Christian nation in this time, right?
Right.
So a lot of these people are offended by him making Jesus, you know, his son, or like look just like his son. They ain't got a problem with being white. It's you making him look like your kid, and we don't like you. So they had a problem with that, which is why there's a consensus as to scholars that know, you know what I'm saying, who Caesarea is according to these pictures, that, yeah, that Last Supper isn't actually the Last Supper or the apostles that's depicted. It's Leonardo da Vinci being somebody who knows the ins and outs of what's going on at the time and knows the history and actually knows, you know, Caesarea. He's depicting people either that don't like him, which would be these guys, right? I don't know how the hell he got there. What the hell is this? They're protesting, clearly. This guy don't want nothing to do with it, which is why I said this has got to be his pops. He's sitting there like, yep, nope, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Right? This is probably this might be Leonardo himself. God damn it. The old guy talking to Lucrezia.
Could be.
And this might be Michelangelo.
Yeah. Yeah. It was definitely those who he was around and who knew him and associated with him, whether they liked him or not. So
because when you look at even at the dynamic, right? Michelangelo was a little bit younger looking than Leonardo. Leonardo looked real old and had the white hair and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this might actually be them two talking to Lucrezia, right? Real close to the sister, close to the right hand. They got the sister on the right hand because she's basically his wife, even though they brother and sister.
Right.
And then, like I said, he had a best friend he was real cool with. Then they kind of not really cool. So I think the dude with his finger up is the best friend. The guy that's outraged with the, with the war toga on, with his hair to the back, and it looked like a dress, that got to be Giovanni. This would be Giovanni's wife, and these would be the other people protesting. And there was even a dude in the movie that was on the council that looked just like this guy right here. So, just a suggestion, speculation, but it's a possibility too.
Right. But we know it's not Yahweh Shai
and the apostles. Definitely not. Right. And even scholars have the question: why are there two women? One could be Mary Magdalene, but who's the other one?
Right.
Like they always ask that question.
All you gotta do is count.
The answer we gave you just told you what it is.
Yeah.
And to me, that makes the most sense out of anything I've ever heard before. So, yeah. But all right, yeah, good call, Knock. Good call, But yeah, so that's the Renaissance, just to show you guys a little bit of that, so y'all understand this is something that actually happened, right? It's not something I'm making up. Alya'al just ain't saying things. So go ahead and read that. Read the prophecy. Oh wait, hold on. Before you do that, let me show y'all this so that this is legitimized. Hold on a second. X that out. Wow. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. All right, bet. So, just to show you guys what they say on the internet, of course, we believe what we can, find and what we know based off the history and the facts and what we see, right? What we can read. The Wisdom of Solomon, if you type in on the internet, the Wisdom of Solomon was actually made before 1st century BC, right? Just to prove that before any pictures of fake Jesus or a fake Jesus, whether Yahweh Shai or anybody, right, Roman or anything like that, existed, came to play, became famous and pushed around. It definitely was before that, right? It says Wisdom of Solomon. Still like you. Is generally dated to the 1st century BCE, specifically around 50 BCE, according to Oxford Dictionary or bibliographies, right? So between 1st century and 50 BCE. So that's still before Christ, right?
That's right.
Now watch this. While it's attributed to King Solomon in the Bible, scholarly consensus, which I'm going to show that this isn't actually the case, but scholarly consensus sometimes, depending on who you ask, I'll say, is that it was not actually written by King Solomon, but the book was likely composed by a Jewish author in Alexandria, Egypt during that time. So, which is that time being 1st century or 50 BCE. So he's saying this was made by a Hellenized Israelite. And the reason they say that is because there's some things that they lead to believe only a Hellenized person would know or understand about the world at that time. But if Solomon's given a prophecy, he could be put in the place of a Hellenized man if he's understanding our people are going to be put in a state where we discontinue from our heritage and we're not as wise as him and stuff.
Right.
So, which is why the rabbinical sources, as I'm going to show you, they actually say it is actual Solomon, right? And they're the ones that stole our records. So they might actually have records that is Solomon too. It's a reason they kept it in the Catholic Bible. I'm going to just say that, right? Even though they took it out of ours with the, Protestant Reformation. So, 1st century BCE, the Wisdom of Solomon is considered to have been written in the 1st century BCE with the specific date around 50 BC. While the book is associated with King Solomon, the same thing I just read, it is believed that the book, read that too. Wisdom of Solomon is taught to have been a defense of Judaism, arguing that Jewish doctrines could be supported by Hellenistic philosophy. That's what they think the book is about. I think it's a little bit different than that. But, I think it would involve Hellenistic philosophy because it's, it's a prophecy. It's a book explaining prophecies that would only take place after Hellenization. So in order to influence people to bring them back to the law that are Hellenized, he would need to be able to word the prophecies in a way that would be attractive to Hellenized people. And Solomon being the wisest man on the planet, I don't see why that would be difficult for him. But of course, the people that write these articles don't think like that. So in their mind, it has to be a different person, not Solomon. But either way, the person was a prophet because they made a prophecy. So let's see what the prophecy says. And while he's reading it, I'm going to show something else on the screen too. Go ahead now.
Did you want me to give a little more? Okay, I was gonna go start a little bit higher, but I just want to give more context.
Start a little bit higher if you want. If it's giving context, go ahead. Whatever.
Just for those who may have no clue what this Apocrypha is saying. So I'll start at 9. It says, this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, and starting at verse 9. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto God. For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation, because in the creatures of God they are become an abomination and stumbling blocks to the souls of men, and a snare to the feet of the unwise. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. For by this vainglory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. Verse 15. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he hath made an image of his child soon taken away.
So the father afflicted with untimely mourning is Rodrigo Borgia after his son was murdered in the woods and stripped butt naked, right? Go ahead.
Now honored him as a god.
Now, because of these Renaissance pictures that had already begun to be painted, right? Now he's going to push that, well, we're going to celebrate him on Christmas, right? December 25th. Not his own birthday, because then it would seem like that's out of worship. But we're going to push him up and make it Christmas, right? We're going to do holy crusades with the image of my son and push his image, right, as Jesus Christ. So they're going to honor this man now as a god. So much so that if you a Hispanic, Native American, and Black person that doesn't want to honor this man, they're going to put you on the cross and decide to take your life as a god themselves. Burn you on the cross, right? Put a bullet in your head. Something. Go ahead.
Now honored him as a god, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. Thus, in process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law, and graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings, whom men could not honor in presence because they dwelt far off. They took the counterfeit of his visage from far and made an express image of a king whom they honored, to the end that by this their forwardness they might flatter him that was absent, as if he were present.
So they're honoring him, making you guys celebrate Christmas, making you guys pray and think that, oh, white Jesus, he's in your head and everything, right? Teaching you his color don't matter, but the only color they ever show you was a white one. Teaching you he's olive color, and olives don't come in pasty, beige, white, red, pink, or peach. Right? You ever seen a peach? Huh? Not. You ever seen a pasty olive before?
No.
You ever seen a pink olive?
La.
Peach olive?
La.
You know what I'm saying? So,
no.
I mean, all the colors of an olive except for green, we match. But I mean, you know, I don't know.
Green, brown, and black is all I think.
That's why they don't say the olive thing too much, because we done got smart. They're like, damn,
right.
Niggas go to the bar. We don't like. I guess when I was not around, before I was born, I guess brothers then used to go to the store and the mall and the bar, and sisters wasn't getting no martinis and stuff. Like, y'all wasn't using and cooking with olive oil. I guess they didn't know that, you know. I don't know what it was.
We wouldn't mess with olives back then. That's
y'all
all.
wouldn't
That's
mess with
all it
olive.
was. That's
You know
all
what
it
I'm saying?
was. We
So,
wouldn't mess with no things olive.
so
at
they would
all.
be able to tell you, yeah, he's olive color, and y'all wouldn't even know. Like, damn, he green. What the hell?
Right. Right.
What the
Wouldn't put it together.
Then they start putting olives on pizza and stuff. Y'all niggas start no olives, no anchovies, all that stuff. So
Man, hey, when I was
those are
young,
black.
Salaki, when I was a kid, I thought olives only came as green. So I never understood when they say look olive color. I was like, damn, green is that's supposed to be beige, right? Look, I didn't know that olives were
I ain't
came
gonna
in
lie.
black
I said the
until
same
I
thing.
had pizza.
He's his olive color. I was like, what? He ain't no alien. What the hell you talking about?
God.
What the hell is this? But yeah, it's crazy. So, you know, but as you see, you know what I'm saying? This is a real prophecy, an actual prophetic event in the Bible that they took out so that you guys wouldn't know that this is a false image. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. It's real crazy how diabolical Esau is. And
There's a little bit more on that.
yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
This is verse 18. Also, the singular diligence of the artificer did help to set forth the ignorant to more superstition.
Singular diligence, because look what they do. You got pictures of him where you see him as an army guy, right? He looks one way, but then you got the other pictures of him in the apotheosis in the God form where he's Jesus and he looks like a god. They got the nice little blue wavy background in the back, like a cloud and stuff, right? It fades out into the light blue. They got longer hair on him. It looks blondish brown. To a white person, it's like he's glowing.
That's more. Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Come on, verse 19. For he, peradventure, willing to please one in authority, found all.
The one in authority that he's pleasing. This is a Renaissance competition.
God.
They're both trying to please Rodrigo Borgia, the one in authority, the one who's making sure that the picture is getting painted for his fallen son. You see, this is an actual prophetic event, and there's real history that you could trace back to follow it. But they took this out the Bible and told you it don't match. It's crazy. What don't match is what they teach you. Go ahead.
Right. Con, for he, peradventure, willing to please one in authority, forced all his skill to make the resemblance of the best fashion. And so
Salakia, we're in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14. You could just read the whole chapter. The whole chapter is about this.
God.
It just builds up at the beginning with Solomon getting you into the talking about idols and stuff like that. So, but the whole chapter really is about this account in this event. So Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14. But go ahead, my bad.
Con, verse 19. For he, peradventure, willing to please one in authority, forced all his skill to make the resemblance of the best fashion. And so the multitude, allured by the grace of the work, took him now for a god.
Woo! So they work so hard on this painting, right? They do what they do. It gets pushed out there, and not for the grace of the work, they're honoring him as a god. This is a picture being pushed. This is a picture being pushed by the Pope, who's like the king at the time of the world. You see, they're trying to make the whole earth mourn for this fat white guy that died yesterday.
God.
Right? Talking about he had a cerebral hemorrhage. Yeah. He probably ate pork for breakfast on Easter. So, like, you know, it's crazy. Go ahead.
Which a little before was but honored as a man. And this was an occasion to deceive the world. For men serving either calamity or tyranny did ascribe unto stones and stocks for the incommunicable name. So,
because y'all don't even know his name.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know if it's Caesar. Y'all don't know if it's Cesare, Jesus, Jesus. Which one is it? Right?
God.
Who are we talking about? The son of the Pope or the God? Is he a God? Is he dead? Can he hear us? Is he alive? Cesare, if you hear me, push me.
God.
Like I don't, you know, it don't. No, I'm playing. I'm just joking. But look, but like y'all gotta understand, bro. This dude is not somebody that we were supposed to be following or worshiping or even knew about at like this time in life. He died in 1507, bro. 1507. They don't even talk about Einstein no more.
Mm-hmm.
He died in the 40s or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this dude died in 1507. That's before most of y'all think slavery started. Y'all think 1619, right? He died before slavery started to most of y'all. Which means we in power. We going strong, 1507. King James family ruling Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales. Like, we in France. We in England. We in the Americas. We all over the place. So, like, they went and took us off the throne, took us out the way, put this image up of, Caesarea. And then they pushed it. They found a systematic way to push this image, which was the Holy Crusades, right? That was an effort by Pope Alexander VI, who came into power in 1492, and Isabella of Spain and Portugal, who was in power in 1492. He comes to power, she's already in power. She also had influence on the people that were in the land of Italy.
Right.
So, they worked together. And even when it came down to it, after they're both dead, both of the nations are working together in the slavery. They were Italian conquistadors. Y'all didn't know that? So, just a little history for you. And you see that scripture there in Wisdom of Solomon. So, of course, you got the first Maccabees 3 and 48 that goes with that, right? Where it talks about them and the wisdom the Job 9:24, both of which basically tell you about them changing the face of the judges, painting the likeness of their own images in our book. Right. So you got the actual accounts. Give me 1 John chapter 5 and verse 10 real quick.
God.
And we're gonna probably close with this. You got like John chapter 3 and 37 and 38, where it tells you believe in Jesus as the scriptures have said, for out of your body shall flow rivers of living water. But a lot of y'all don't be wanting to believe. As the scriptures say, you don't even know the scriptures say what he looked like. Y'all be like, we ask you on the street, hey, you ever read the Bible? Yeah, I read it all the time. Okay, cool. Is this picture true right here? See, I didn't want to come over here because of that picture. It just looks so But I thought you knew what Jesus looked like. Oh yeah, I do. I know he's brown. Brown like what? What you mean? Like that guy. And then it'd be a Middle Eastern dude, Indian, light skinned one. So it's like, damn. They never think he's black. It's like impossible. I don't understand it. So that's what I want our people to understand, man. We got to get to the point where one can prove what he looks like and use more than just the scripture, Revelation chapter 1, verse 13 to 15. It's a great scripture to use, gives you a great explanation, but some of y'all don't break it down right. And it leads them to be able to break it down however they want to. You know what I'm saying? So I think y'all need to just be mindful of that. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Learn more ways to be able to bring this out. Get some history to put behind it. Get some pictures in your phone, right? Of Caesarea Borgia or whatever. Right. So you can show he ain't got no, white hair. It ain't woolly. Like, where's his eyes? Like, you know what I'm saying? So those are things that I want you guys to be able to do, be more cognizant of. The more that y'all spread that and show people that he's actually black, not just being comfortable with them saying he's brown or whatever, word of mouth spreads faster than anything. So if y'all are telling people about this stuff, it might make it easier for Israelites to be able to teach these folks on the street too. Just saying. Because now that's one less stumbling block we have to fight through, if you know what I mean. Right? So, but yeah, man. Just to give you a couple more scriptures to go with that. Yeah, you got the Daniel 7:9, Daniel 10:5, Hamashiach Yahushai and the Most High's descriptions, the Revelations 1-3. You know, it's just Job 9:24. That's really it. We'll leave it there. So go ahead.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 5 and verse 10. He that believeth on the Son of God hath the witness in himself. He that believeth not God hath made him a liar.
So if you believe in the Son of God, you have the witness in yourself. Part of the witness is, being conformed to the image of the Son. Right? As Paul said. Well, the image has requirements too. And in fact, that we're supposed to believe in the image as the scriptures say, because it does say what the image is going to resemble, what it looked like.
Precept.
Go ahead.
I said precept.
Oh, you said you're not going to get a precept?
No, I said I got one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the book of John, chapter 7 and verse 38, and that's what you kind of actually was going into. Mm-hmm. And it reads, he that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. So that's the thing that we need to depend on, is what the scriptures say. These scriptures actually prophesy that there was going to be a false Christ, right? So we have to believe on that thing. We have to accept what the scriptures say, right? So
if you believe the Bible,
we have to believe it, and it shows in that Yahushai. You find it in Daniel, you find it in Revelation, what the description of the Israelites as a whole are. I mean, but I just want to bring that out. Slaka, go ahead.
No, I mean, that's facts. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to pull that out too, though. You know what I mean? Like, y'all want to show you got the witness. You got to know what the Most High Son looked like.
That's right.
For those who got to think he's God, you got to know what God looked like.
Bring up that Romans too.
Because the Bible got a description of him too.
God.
Just saying.
Let me bring out another one real quick. I got to pull it up though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just thought about it in my head. Unless you can grab it for me.
Get the Daniel 7. Or yeah, I mean, I'll grab it for you too if you want me to read it.
The book of Romans. 5 and is it 14? I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Yes. Nevertheless.
No, I mixed it up. No, 15 and 4. I mixed it up. Yep. Because this is something that I think our people need to understand what these scriptures are actually saying. I know this is a different time, but it still applies to this, right? That's why I'm only bringing that out, because it still applies to what we need to do, so we have assurance and knowledge of the truth.
Yeah, for sure. This is Romans 15 and 4. For whosoever, for whatsoever things are written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
And this is the reason why we're supposed to be studying these scriptures, right? Because we have been given a false image of our Lord, right? And the only way we're really going to be able to understand that this is not the truth is that we have to search the scriptures. We have to do the research, right? We have the history in the books that we have. That's why Captain Alya'al is bringing out. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people didn't know the wisdom of Solomon was prophesying that there would be a false image of the Christ, of what we call today Jesus Christ. We know as Caesar Borgia. So all this comes back full circle. So, it's important. It's important to know, to study these scriptures to show yourself approved, right?
Hey, and then for those of y'all in the woke church, right? The woke black church that know that Jesus is black, right? Why didn't your church ever tell you about the Apocrypha and the wisdom of Solomon in the scripture and the prophecy that tells you about Jesus being black in the fake image of white Jesus? Why did they tell you the Israelites was wrong and that the Apocrypha is a book that we're not supposed to use? It's just a book that teaches hate. You know what I'm saying? So those are questions I would ask if I was y'all. What he said and what I said. I'm just saying.
All praises.
That's all I got, though. Hope y'all enjoyed it.
All praises. All praises.
Hour 44. Look at that. right on time.
Said right on time, and we was late, so we made it good for y'all. All right, all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. And we want to thank everyone for diligently supporting the Northern House of Saints. Right, our Milk Mondays classes, Torah Lab, our what is it? It's a lot. I forgot the name. No, we got the Torah Lab with Captain Jonathan. Also, with Captain
Torah portion.
With the Torah portion, Salakia, the water.
It is a Torah lab.
It is a Torah lab, though. It is, yeah, because that's what I was
dissecting the Torah, like
I was on the class. That's what I was saying.
Like a frog, he'd be paying,
dissect
operation.
That's dissecting, right?
Dissecting,
but also for our Sabbath morning brew with Captain Aharon and other officers and soldiers. Hey, we're doing what the Lord commanded us. You know what I'm saying? We're asking you, if you're going to be supportive of us, this is what we want you to do. We have a website called anointedhouseofsaints.org. I'm going to pull it up real quick because I believe that if you go to this website, it has a plethora of information, things that you may not know, things that you want to learn, how you can follow us and keep up with the events that are going on with the Anointed House of Saints. Even if you want to buy merchandise, this is something that you can also go to and be able to do that. So let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. Let me pull it up real quick just to show, because you guys gotta let me know if y'all can see it. Can y'all see it?
I took mine down.
Hold on. Oh, there we go. There it is. It's up. Okay, there we go. This is our website, anointedhouseofsaints.org, right? It's a beautiful website, all praises for that. We just, had our Passover 2025 with Anointed House of Saints. But I'm bringing you here because of those who do not know, we do have this, and it's all for you in the community, right? So if anyone wants to support us, you can actually go on and become a monthly supporter, right? Go here, you hit the tab support, right? I'm going to show you this because we have 3 tiers where you can be a supporter for Anointed House of Saints, because we can't do this, unfortunately, in this captivity. We have to have funds to be able to pay for our schools, pay for our events, pay for the feast days and the holy days that we are commanded to keep, so that we can congregate and come together as one, right? Because we are the nation not desired, right? All praises. Yo, check it out. AHOS Foundation supporter, $20 every month. We have incentives under each category, right? So, it comes with great perks. $50 is called the growth supporter. And then we have our $100 mission partner. And that gets them free entry into all the high feast days, high holy feast days that be Passover, first fruits, and tabernacles. But for those who may not be able to commit to that, we still have our alms that you can give to our Cash App, which is $AHOS School. Any donation is appreciated. This goes to everything AHOS to support our community, to support our school, and to keep bringing out these lessons for our brothers and sisters and for your families. All right. Also, let me go here real quick. We also have a shopping cart, I should say. I don't want to call it shopping cart, but we have products that we have when we sell our merchandise, right? For all your latest AHOS fashions and above, more will be added. But this is just another incentive to becoming a member and subscriber, or just someone who wants to patronize AHOS. You can come on this website and do so. And all praise to the Most High that you do that. But we also have information. We also have edification, right? We also have where our officers and our captains are also posting blogs, right? So if you ever have those questions to where you may not be, you may have gone to your pastor, or maybe a family member has come to you and you don't have that answer. Maybe can't get a hold of an officer, a captain, or a soldier, and you can come to the website and see if you can find your answer, because we do post blogs that give breakdowns to certain scriptures that we know that our people may have a little hard time understanding. But but I'm gonna tell you right now, you come to the classes, y'all gonna be all right. But this is just another tool you can use. All praises to the Most High. I just wanted to show that. Let me go ahead and stop that. Just wanted to show that. But all praises for that. I was gonna give a shout out to everyone, but it's a little bit late, so I'm gonna let everybody go. I see Captain back there talking to the dog, talking to his lovely. So we're gonna go ahead and get up on out of here. But we want to thank everyone.
I'm trying to act like I'm asleep, so he lay down, but he trying to play with me. I gotta go. He trying to play with me.
Count all praise. But we're gonna go ahead and get y'all on out of here. All right. So let me get Daniel real quick. Let me get the Daniel chapter 7, verse 18 real quick for everyone. And we can go ahead and get on out.
All right, he cool. All right. You want me to get it?
I'm sorry, Daniel chapter 7. I'm saying things backwards, Salakia. This is the book of Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18, and it reads, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. All praises. That's all praise to the Most High God. By Hashem Mashiach Yahawashi. We want to say thank you again for being with us this Milk Monday, and we will be waiting to see you again next week. Make sure you attend all the other classes coming up. But Kevin, you got anything else you want to say?
Nah, man. Y'all be here for the rest of the classes, like you said. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all hit the like button if y'all haven't already. Subscribe if you're new to the channel.
That's right.
And keep supporting.
All praises. Shalom. Shalom, everybody.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, 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 black music, black music, black music, black music.